So they got to spend some time on studying, see if I can do it. Fair share gaps analysis. How much is that opportunity worth? In recent posts, I wrote about the importance, including competitive benchmarks in retailer category assessment. In this post, I will build on this concept by showing you how to construct an opportunity gap analysis. This analysis examines whether the retailer is getting its fair share of category sales compared to competitors, and more importantly, it puts a dollar value on closing any gap. This is a simple but powerful approach. You compare a retailer's market shares across all categories, their share of trade area, ACV, to that retailer's market share for your particular category. For example, let's say retailer A share of trade area, ACV, is 25%. All things being equal, the retailer should capture 25% of the dollars for that for any category. This is the retailer's fair value, a fair share. Of course, retailers won't sell their fair share of every category. There are areas of strength and weakness for any retailer. But if the retailer isn't attaining their fair share, then there is a quantifiable opportunity that's worth exploring. To further illustrate, let's plug in some numbers. In this example, retailer A has ACV of 1 billion and trading area ACV is 4 billion. Retailer A share of ACV is 25%. Before we dive further into the example, a couple of notes on putting this data from Nielsen's circular. Circular gives you the data for the total trading area, which they call the CRMA. However, Nielsen gives you the competitors' ACV, they call it ROM. So to get the total trading area ACV from Nielsen, you need to add the retailer ACV to the ROM. Nielsen's circular express ACV in millions of dollars, given that the number that appears in the database for retailer A would be 1,000. Instead of 1 billion. Retailer ACV is a measure available in some, but not all. Nelson's and Circular database and it is not provided when you buy an ad hoc Excel report unless you explicitly request it. If you are missing this measure, do not despair.
Despair.
Do not despair. Here is a post showing how to estimate retailer ACV to see if the retailer is selling its fair share of your category. You need category dollars for the retailer and the trading area. Let's say that retailer category dollars are 20 million and the trading area category are 100 million. Usually you would use annual number for this type of analysis and demonstrate an annual opportunity. Retailer share of trading areas, category sales, 20 divided by 100 equals of 20%. So here you have identified an opportunity gap versus fair share. 25% ACV minus 20% category share equals to 5 points gap. To make your case even more compelling, you can calculate the value of increasing category sales to which fair share. You can calculate the value of increasing category sales to which fair share. The value of one share point in a trading area is always category dollars sales divided by 100, then multiplied by the size of the opportunity gap. So in this example, value of one share point, 100 million divided by 100. That will be 1 million. So the value of closing opportunity gap is 1 million times 5 point gaps. That will be 5 million. Category A retailer category A assessment. Opportunity gap versus fair share. Retailer A share of trading area ACV. Retailer A share of widgets category. Widgets category. Widgets opportunities gap versus fair share. Widgets opportunity gap versus fair share. Retailer A has a 5 point opportunity gap in widget category. Selling their fair share of widgets would bring retailer A an additional 5 million in retail sales. You have just identify a way for retailer A to gain 5 million in retail sales. This is a great space. This is a great place to start your presentation. I expect management would listen closely when you suggest category adjustments to close the opportunity gap. So, need help to get started with your category assessment? Contact us to discuss how our consulting service can help you with this and any or other Nelson's circular challenge you are facing. We all know that data isn't worth anything unless it leads to better results. This is why Robin and I started this board. We want to help you turn your data into meaningful, actionable business insight. I have been doing just that for over 15 years for a variety of organizations. So, your approach. opportunity gap analysis. Identify, quantify. This blog post outlines a method called opportunity gap analysis, a powerful tool for CPG brands to identify and quantify potential sales growth for a retailer within a specific product category. The core idea is to determine if a retailer is underperforming a category compared to its overall market strength, and to calculate the financial value of closing that performance gap. Fair share. Key concept, fair share. A retailer's expected market share in any category is equivalent to its share of the total trading area or commodity volume, a measure of a store's total sales. For example, if a retailer holds 25% of the totals of the area's ACV, its fair share of every category is 25%. Opportunity gap. The difference between a retailer's fair share and its actual share of a category sales. A negative gap indicates the retailer is missing out on potential revenue. Step-by-step process. You need to get two key information for the same period and geographic area, retailers ACV and the total area ACV. Retailer sales in your category and the total category sales in the trading area. The post clarifies how to find this retailer ACV data in Nelson's IQ using retailer ACV plus ROM and circular using the CRMA database. Calculate shares. Fair shares equals to retailer ACV divided by total trading area ACV. Actual category share, that is retailers cash category sales divided by total category sales in trading area times 100. Identify the gap. Opportunity gap points. Fair share percentage minus actual category share percentage. Quantify the value of one share point. Then we total category sales in trading area. Divided by 100, and the total opportunity is equals to value of 1 point share. 1 share point times the opportunity gap. Illustrative example. Retailer ACV, trading area ACV 4 billion. The fair share is 25%. Retailer category sales 200 million. $200 million, and the total category sales is 100 million. The actual share is 20%. Opportunity gap. There is 25% minus 20% equals to 5. percentage points. Dollar values 100 million divided by 100 times 5, that would be 5 million. This analysis provides a compelling data-driven argument for CPG brand to present to retailer by demonstrating a multi-million dollar opportunities. It lays the groundwork for discussion on how to adjust the category management, assortment, or marketing strategy to capture the lost revenue, making it an invaluable to joint business planning. To determine if underperforming in a category or overall market. Fair share. The differences between a retailer's fair share and its actual share of category sales. A negative gap indicates the retailer is missing out on potential revenue. active retailer marketing area. Fair share. Why you need competitive benchmark in category management? Why you need competitive benchmarks in a category assessment? Both Nelson's trading area Both Nelson's and Circular construct retail geographies in consultation with individual retailers. Nelson's call these geographic areas trading areas. Circana call them retailer marketing areas. A TA or RMA is constructed by county. A TA or RMA can cross state borders. In many cases, Nelson's and Circana will offer multiple TA or RMA options for a particular chain. For example, you can look at Stop and Shop New Net, Stop and Shop New York, and Total Stop and Shop. and Shop, also known as Stop and Shop, is an American regional chain of supermarket located in Northeast United States from its beginning in 1892 as a small grocery store. And it's grown to include a 365 store chain. Dutch supermarket operator A. Holt since 1995 and was part of the Stop and Shop giant Landover division with sister chain Giants Landover between 2004 and 2011. Closing since then. Okay. New Jersey, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Connecticut is a southern New England that has a mix of coastal cities and rural area, denote still more time. Mystic is famed for its seaport museum. Rhode Island. Rhode Island, Providence, Boston, Massachusetts. Connecticut, 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 Connecticut.
Connecticut, Connecticut.
Connecticut 喺呢一度。You can, for example, you can look at Start and Shop, New England, Start and Shop, New York, and total Start and Shop. Each ETA or RMA, retailer marketing areas, has a remaining market which represents their competition in that geographic region. The remaining market is important for benchmarking. To create the remaining market of the retailer, Circana and Nelson's includes all comparative stores physically located within the boundaries of that retailer's RMA or TA. Nelson's call the retailer's competitive market. To create the remaining market for a retailer, Circana and Nelson's include all competitive stores physically located within the boundaries of that retailer's RMA or TA. Nelson's call the retailer's competitive market the rest of market. Circana calls it CRMA, competitive retailer market area. So CRMA is Circana's term for overall geographic area in which a retailer operates and is typically used to compare performance of a retailer and its competition. Overall CRMA is the Circana's term for the overall geographic area in which a retailer operates and is typically used to compare performance of a retailer and its competition. The retailer owned store make up its total area, a total trading area, while the CRMA includes all physically located within that geography defined by counties. The competitive retailer market area encompassed both retailer and its competition. The CRMA minus the retailer is called the rest of market. The rest of market gives you a single comparison point of each retailer, a weighted average of all competitors, and is important for benchmarking. To create the remaining market for retailer, Nelson's and Circana include all competitive stores physically located within boundaries of that retailer's trading area. The ROM or CRMA gives you a single comparison point for each retailer, a weighted average of all competitors of the area as a whole. why you need comparative benchmarks in a category assessment. Many CPG manufacturers invest in Nielsen's and Circana data to create category assessment for individual retailers. This analyze
Analyze. Analysis.
This analysis are one component of the category management process. The most compelling and accurate category assessment compare individual retailers against their competitors, and the best benchmark for this comparison is the Nielsen's or Circana remaining market. The remaining market aggregate all competitor stores for a particular retailer into a single comparison point. Background and lingo. Both Nielsen's and Circana construct retail geographies in consultation with individual retailers. Nielsen's call these geographic areas trading areas. Circana calls them retailer marketing areas. For each retailer, Circana and Nielsen's can then identify all competitive stores physically located within boundaries of that retailer's RMA and TA. The competitive market provided by Nielsen's is called the rest of market and includes just the competitors. Circana's provide the CRMA, competitive retail market area, which is the combination of the retailers plus competitors. When you purchase an ongoing subscription to Nielsen's or Circana retail markets, it's standard to receive each retailer's ROR, rest of market or competitive retailers market area. So your subscription typically includes two markets for each account you purchase. One, the retailer's own stores, and second, the retailer's ROM or CRMA. If you are ordering one-time report via Excel, you can still obtain the ROM or CRMA data. So you need to request this ROM or CRMA as an additional market, and it will likely to add to the cost. You may be tempted to skip the ROM or CRMA and instead benchmark using data for individual competitors. However, there are multiple problems with this approach. Nielsen's and Circana constructs forbid you contrast. Nielsen's and Circana contracts forbid you from showing one retailer's data to another. You might be tempted to skip the ROM and CRMA and instead benchmark using data for individual competitors. However, there are multiple problems with this approach. Nielsen's and Circana contracts forbid you from showing one retailer's data to another retailer. Not all individual retailers are available from Nielsen and Circana. Buying data from multiple competitors can get pricey. Each retailer's trading area is a little different, so you won't be comparing precisely the same geography. This is why using the rest of market or competitive retailer market area is much more better method in most cases. ROM versus CRMA, which one is better? As mentioned above, Nielsen provides the ROM, which is just the competitive retailers. By contrast, Circana provides the CRMA, which includes both the retailers and competitors. If you have Circana data, you need to subtract the RMA from the CRMA to get the ROM. Analytically, I prefer the ROM as the benchmark. It is a cleaner comparison. In addition, if a retailer has a large share of trading area, the retail data will have a big impact on the values for the CRMA. So I think it's worth to calculate the ROM if you have Circana data. However, that's not always possible or it may be too much work. And it won't make a huge difference if the retailer is more share of the market. In the analysis below, I've used the ROM, but you can substitute the CRMA. Just keep in mind the extent to which your retailer's performance is driving the CRMA result. How benchmarking help your analysis? Once you have data for both retailer and the ROM, what types of comparison can you make? Category growth, mix of brands, and size sold, and regular and promote price point are all great place to start. Adding the context of the ROM helps you more accurately identify opportunities. To illustrate, the example below compares dollar growth by segment. The example below compares dollar growth by segment for retailer versus ROM. The first chart shows the growth rate just for the account with low comparative data. Based on the chart, you might conclude that retailer has maxed out in segment 1, while opportunities remain in segment 3. Retailer A category assessment. Category growth trends by segment. Dollar percentage change versus year ago. Conclusion: with no competitive benchmarks, segment 1 saw strong growth for retailer A. Good job on this segment. Segment 3 growth is weak. What could retailer A do to improve trends? But if you include the ROM data comparing the retailer to competitors in the same geography, you can see that there are still opportunity for growth in segment 1, while segment 3 looks like it's doing well in a weaker market. Conclusion after adding ROM competitive benchmark. Segment 1 is growing even faster than the rest of the market. What changes could retailer A can make further A&P growth. Further A&P growth. Segment 3 had dollar declines. For rest of market, retailer A might be making best out of a weak segment. Benchmarking retailer performance versus competitor is a key part of any category assessment. Need help getting start your category assessment? This blog post emphasizes the critical need for using competitive benchmarks, specifically the remaining market data provided by Nielsen or Circana, when conducting a category assessment for a retailer. It argues that comparing a retailer performance against its direct competitor within the same geographic area is the most accurate and compelling method for identifying true growth opportunities. Key concept and terminology. Remaining market, the aggregates data of all competitor stores within a retailer-specific geographic area is the ideal benchmark. Geographic areas. Nielsen's call these trading areas, while Circana call them retailer marketing areas. Competitive data. Nielsen provides rest of market, which includes only competitive stores. Circana provides competitive retailer market area, which includes both the retailer and the competitors. To get a pure competitive benchmark from Circana data, you must subtract the data from the CRMA. Why use rest of market and competitive market area instead of the individual competitive data? This poses at least several reasons why benchmarking against aggregate ROM and CRMA is superior to using data from individual competitors. Contractual prohibition. Nielsen's and Circana contracts forbid sharing one retailer's data with another. Availability. Data for individual competitors is not always available for purchase. Cost. Binding data for multiple individual competitors can be expensive. Geographic consistency. Each retailer has a unique trading area. The ROM ensures you are comparing the performance in the same exact same geography. Analytical value. Including the ROM and CRMA benchmark provides exact and essential context that transform the analysis. With benchmark, you can compare the growth to the competitor average in the same area. You may discover that while the retailer is growing, the entire segment is growing even faster among competitors, revealing a high hidden opportunity. Using ROM or CRMA as a competitive benchmark is a foundational best practice in category management. It provides a legally compliant, cost-effective, geography-precise method to move beyond internal metrics and genuinely understand retailer performance relative to its market. This enables identification of actionable, quantifiable opportunities to grow category sales. How benchmark helps your analysis? Okay, that's it. See you next time.